tilted, so just gonna get that a little bit. Okay, so I'm just reviewing the, this is my third attempt at making concrete vessels. Every little step is obviously a learning experience. I tried one with the white titanium dioxide, and although it looks good, I just wanted to note that I don't know if you can tell, but I have a really bad crack in there, which makes me think, and this was the one where I had it on my vibrating machine and the mold fell off, so I think that I know my mistake. I know I'm going to try to be more careful this time, but yeah, she's really bad. So even though I am going to give this a chance, seal it, I don't think I will be able to use that as a concrete vessel for candles. All right, and just a quick look. I did water bathe them for 24 hours. This one was my first attempt that I made. Do have some rocky edges around there. Nothing terrible. This one might look all right after sealing. I'm gonna let it cure for 3 to 4 days. And then of course this one, which did have the really rocky bottom there. Again, these were my first ever attempt at making concrete vessels where my measurements were way off. All right, so I am doing another attempt at making a concrete vessel, and I'm going to be doing a marbling effect again because I do really like the look, but I'm going to be doing one that's going to be more white than color. So I'm going to be splitting between two bowls here. I'm not going to talk through as much as I usually do. I will mention it again. You might see speed ups, you'll probably see plenty of cuts. But we'll see what happens. Yeah. All right. Okay, so I got my mask. Most important thing. Well, I guess I will have to talk. Don't mind me. All right, so this is I have both vessels out. I know for sure I'm making the oblong. I don't know what shape you call that. I'm for sure making this one. I am going to use the vibrating machine, but I'm going to be more careful so that it doesn't, fall. I think air bubbles got into the white titanium one really bad. I got two little ones, and this is going to go into my color bowl. I'll explain that more when I get to it. But for now, it might help if I put the gloves on the right way and adjust my mask. I do want to measure out the water first, just so I have it ready. And again, I have really bad luck with the water and trying to get a smoothie-like consistency. But I think my idea of a smoothie-like consistency differs from Jay from Up 5. I was thinking really thick, more like pancake batter, but I think it's going okay. But I'll see. I'll make adjustments as needed. I had water here. All right, so this one's going to be my big bowl, which is going to have 81 grams of water. So let's make sure I have that. Oh, and I did get a new scale. So far, so good with this new scale. I have this big empty space, and I decided to go on the space that I don't have a big empty space on. All right, so a little bit too much water. That's easy. Got a little squeezy there. I am looking for 81 grams of water. Got my 81 grams of water. I'm just going to set that off to the side right here so I have it ready to go when I need it. And the other one, the color bowl, is supposed to be 31 grams of water. This will not work for this. I'll be right back again. Okay. So the reason why I'm pre-measuring everything out like this is because I know once I get going with this, I really have to act fast. All right. Okay. I am putting on my gloves in a moment. Just tearing that out. So this is the one is going to be my white bowl. For my white bowl, I need 324 grams of cementall. Okay. You see that dust flying up? I don't know if you're able to see it, but that's why I have a mask on. So that's good. All right, now on this one, I need, I thought I put a spoon in here. Hi guys. All right, so it's the next day, and I'm including this part in my video that you're watching today, my vessel type 3. I ended up not filming the whole thing. I don't remember why or where my head was at or why I didn't film everything. But either way, I did end up making 2 candle vessels. And I'm also going to show you where I'm at for my other, I got 3 other vessels that I made. First attempt, second attempt, and all that fun stuff. So that's what I'm doing today. These have been sitting in a water bath for at least 12 hours, maybe over 12 hours. I had originally done 24 hours, but I think I should be okay water bathing them just for 12, kind of overnight kind of thing. So I'm just going to, you'll see some cuts, you'll see maybe some weird little angles. I will fix what I can in my editing. All right, so let's take a look as to what I have in here. All right. Just take a look really quick at, it's really slimy right now, it does need to be rinsed, but this is what it looks like right now. So let's give this one a rinse. I really like the way this one turned out, and on the bottom as well. Okay, and it's solid. It's not cracking in my hands, so that's good at least. All right, so I'm just taking, this is actually a rag I bought from Costco. It's disposable rags. Just gonna give this a nice little dry, and then just give you a quick little overview of any cracks or anything I see, any imperfections. Like I already have some acrylic paint coming off. There are a couple of spots here that I can see where I used too much pigment. I'm assuming that's what happened. I'm not an expert or anything, but I do have, I'm hoping that after fully curing and sealing, that will be less of an issue. I guess we'll see. I'll have to change my rag, obviously, before I dry my other pink one. So give this a nice dry. This is only my 3rd attempt here at making candles, concrete vessels. learning. Practice makes perfect. I'm doing what I can. Just need to. The more mistakes you make, the more you can learn from them, just so that you know what you can do to make the issue not become issues anymore. All right, so before I put this on display, I've given it a good rinse to the point where it does not feel slimy anymore, which it did feel slimy the moment I took it out of the water bath. All right, and the point of water bathing is to prevent more cracks from happening. All right, so this is how my rag looks. Not that great. It's not crumbling, just not being too rough with it, because I don't want it to crumble in my hands. I'm not sure if I would reuse this as a vessel for candles, but the thing is with this, judging, I don't know yet, because I don't have a candle in it, which was the original reason why I decided to make my own concrete vessels. I think this would probably be like maybe a 13 to 14 ounce candle, but either way, that's what it looks like inside, if you can see that. There is some pigment. I'm hoping that maybe after it fully cures and seals it, I won't have that. I don't know how it's going to look. All right, so I do like the overall look, however. There is a little bit of a hole there. There is, if you can see that, some corrosion, not corrosion, just spots where maybe there was too much pigment there and there. I don't, on further inspection though, one thing I'm noticing is that I don't see any actual cracks except for that little hole that I already pointed out there, a little bit of chipping. But as far as like noticeable cracks, I don't really see. I'm very happy with this one, so I'm just going to put this off to the side for now. I am going to weigh it too, so that I can weigh it every day. All right, so I don't get any blue ink on that one, blue pigment. So this is from acrylic paint. I'm just going to toss this. All right, next vessel. Right here. Give that a rinse. So I think I've made improvements with each candle. You know, it is a learning experience. On this one, it would appear I did not use too much pigment on this one because there's only a couple spots that I can see. However, and this is a big however, I am seeing more holes in this one than I was seeing in my big blue and white one that I did. Air bubbles. I definitely had more air bubbles in this one. And it's kind of funny because in this one, I think maybe I over tapped it. I did have it quite a few times on the oculator machine. So I think what I did is because you can also over tap and over vibrate and over shake. All right, so this one is very solid as well. I rinsed it off until I could not feel any slime. When you take it out of the water bath, you feel the slime right away. Now this one definitely looks like I used a lot less pigment in it than I did in my other vessel. So there's a lot less of that pigment seepage coming out. But I do have, you know, crack little holes there, little air pocket holes. I assume those are air bubbles that didn't get popped. If you can see that here, right along here as well. I got some air bubbles there. On the bottom doesn't look too bad. And on the inside looks pretty good except for around the edges here. All right, so you're gonna see, I'm going to weigh these. So you'll see cut in the video. I'm actually gonna go grab my book where I've already listed other ones, and then I'll show you how my other vessels are looking. Okay, so right now I am just weighing my concrete vessels. Now, the point of this, again, this is completely through advice from Jay from Up Vibe Candles. Gotta give credit where credit is due. It's an average of 3 complete 72-hour curing time, like kind of the minimum before you want to seal your concrete vessels if you use cementall. And the idea is that you want to weigh your concrete vessels once every day, just to see what the weight is. And when the weight stabilizes, that's when you know that it's ready to seal or do whatever you want with it. All right, so for this one, I have my little thing here. So my blue, I should make sure it's on a flat surface. I don't really know if that's going to make a difference, but in case it does, I'll make sure it's on a flat surface. All right, my blue one for day 1 weighs in at 818 grams. So I'm just writing that on my piece of paper. All right. And then my small one is weighing in at 489 grams. Okay. So I'm going to take these over and bring you over. You'll see another cut in the video because I want to show you my other 3 vessels. I figure what I'm going to do as well while I have you here and I'm finishing up this video for my 3rd vessel, I'm going to go back and just kind of show you day 2 from the candles that I made originally. All right, so I already had weighed all of these on my day 1. All right, so we'll go for this one, my big one, my square one, which yesterday it weighed in at 846 grams. So this is what this one looks like. So what I can see, this is one that I'm planning on using just as probably like a planter or decoration. This is not one that I would use for concrete vessels for candles, just because like we have huge air bubbles here. So this is what has happened. This has been curing we're above the 24-hour point right now. But yeah, you can see those big 2 holes, this rocky bottom here. Again, this is the very first one I made. Yeah, that was a little bit rough. And a couple more holes there. And inside, I don't know if you can see, I don't know if it's giving a good view. This side has a couple holes as well. Other than that, I mean, I think once it's completely covered with what I'm looking for, sealed, it should look a bit better. All right, so I'm gonna weigh this. Yesterday was 146 grams. Today is 803. All right, so that one has shrunk quite a bit. So I'm going to put 803, day 2, 803 grams. All right, the next one, another one of my very first days, all right, is this one. Now, this one is actually looking pretty good. Almost, in my opinion, especially for one of my first vessels, I think this one's pretty awesome, and it's almost perfect in my personal. I do have, this is why it's so important for, this one is the one I didn't use enough. My original, hold on while I clear my throat. All right, vapors cough. Original one where my initial measurements were off. I do have a couple of air bubble holes in there. Other than that, I mean, the bottom looks good. I think, oh, and there's one down here as well. I got a little air bubble there. This side is a little bit worse. All right, but other than that, I mean, I think it looks okay. You know, still very solid. So this one is one that I would probably actually fill with a candle and do a complete test for this one. All right, and the weight of that on the first day was 541 grams. Today it's weighing in at 510 grams. So yeah, it's definitely curing properly. All right, and the last one. Now this one is another one where I used this is the one you saw at the beginning of the video. It's now the next day. I showed you at the beginning of the video that crack, which definitely is going to be an issue. Yeah, I don't know how that'll work when I seal it. It's not wanting to crumble in my hands. Like, it still feels very solid. I just think because of that crack, it would be too dangerous to, well, make into a candle. And when it starts to heat up and expand or whatever it's going to do, I would not trust this one to put a candle in just because of that crack. All right. All right. And that one on day 2 is weighing in at, yesterday it weighed in at 492. Today it weighs in at 467 grams. All right. So I'm going to end this video here. My next attempt, I'm going to try to make a couple of pure white. So with cementall and just titanium dioxide, and then using a couple new different methods from watching Jay's video. I'm going to try different techniques rather than just putting the color right into the concrete vessels like I have been. I'm going to try making white and then coloring on top of them, and we'll see how that goes. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you at my next video.